My legendary spell at Valencia is complete. I have loved my time in Spain, creating probably the best team in the world right now as well. There is lots of differences to this Lazio team, but there are still some recognisable names in world football, as well as a world-class striker with some fantastic attributes, 20 off the ball and 18 finishing for example, and he's only 24. And that was enough to persuade me to apply for the job, knowing I need to go to complete Italy at some point anyway. Dan, on the other hand, was offered a new contract at Manchester United, which he agrees to sign and extends his contract for another 4 years. And he celebrated that by bringing in his old French striker on a free transfer. No sooner though had I left Spain, Valencia began making bids for Dad's players. But my mind was on Lazio, and they eventually brought me in for an interview. And within days, the Lazio board were back in contact again to offer me the role to become their manager, which of course I accepted and began right away. First thing I did was go for a player that I've been keeping my tabs on since he entered the footballing world, Kylian Mbappe. He was unhappy at his current club Chelsea, and I got a deal accepted for £75 million, as well as bidding for the Liverpool defender, an old player of mine at Seville, in Laporte. Dad was also trying to track down a centre-back as his director of football suggested Marquinhos, who finds himself currently at Benfica. So Dad pursued the transfer. My old job at Werder Bremen came up once again, and that's because the manager Victor Fernandez jumped ship to take my latest job at Valencia. But there was another reason my dad was actually tempted by Werder Bremen, because upon looking at their squad, we noticed a 21-year-old Frank Kessie in the side, an up-and-coming midfielder that my dad's rather fond of. Spain continued their dominance on the international stage though, as they beat Brazil 3-1 in the World Cup final. And I decided I needed another midfielder, and brought in the one man I've relied on 4 times already in Glory Hunter in João Moutinho, who I could buy for the 3rd time, this time round for just £20 million. Another future star in Erling Haaland, who I was keeping my eye on, has just rejected a move to Liverpool with his contract running out very soon. But instead, he agrees a while later on deadline day in fact, to move to Manchester City. Dad, I am quite surprised to see that you're still the Manchester United manager.
Yeah, I know. I was tempted, but I thought, well, I am building a side here. I had a bad season last season, but I think I know where I went wrong. I think I had the wrong formation, and I've changed that. Rashford's getting even better, so I think just a couple of players that I've bought in just strengthened the squad up a bit more, and I'm a bit confident for this season now.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's have a look at the signings that you made, because to start things off, you brought in a centre midfielder from Werder Bremen, who plays in both roles that you are currently using, and very well too. Yeah. So Traini comes in as a centre midfielder, very good on the ball.
Yeah,
I mean, fantastic. Really,
he's actually going to be fighting for the first spot.
Yeah.
So I brought him in as a reserve to take, come in if any injuries, but he's also fighting for the first team spot, really.
Yeah, he's good. Then we've got an old player of yours.
Yeah.
From Roma, the striker, on a free transfer as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm playing 2 up front, and I just wanted an extra one as possibly to come in and fight for that first team spot as well.
Yeah, and he has actually scored as well in one game. So far, so good. And then finally, Marquinhos. Now, I think this is like the first player that you might have signed that's a new gen come through. It's like a recognised, really good player in real life. And yeah, he's fantastic, to be fair, very good on the ball. There was a couple of players that you were and amming in between, but Marquinhos stood out. He plays
he's mainly for the centre-back position, as a reserve centre-back position, but because he plays both positions so well as well, just got him in really. Yeah. Just strengthens the defence up a little bit more. Exactly,
because your tactic, if you look at it, you've got PK and Van Dijk, who are your 2 starting centre-backs. Lam is obviously your starting left back with Pereira on the right. This is the formation that you've decided to change. Now, you're going to be trying to get David De Gea to play every game, because at the minute still plays Gordon in there. But the rest of it, you're kind of all right with.
Yeah, I've set it up that 1 or 2 players could slip in if one player's off form type of thing. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that.
Okay, nice one. Let's have a look at your schedule so far. It was going all well because you had a draw at Anfield at the start of the season.
First game,
that's not bad. 90th minute equaliser as well. 3-0 win at home at Old Trafford, so that's lovely. But this one was a little bit bizarre.
It was a bad game more ways than one. Definitely because of the result. Got beaten the last 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And Wayne Rooney getting sent off. Wayne Rooney getting sent off cost me the game, I think.
Yeah, I mean, they actually took the lead through Junior Stanislas, but you came back, got yourself a penalty as well from Gignac, and then Wayne Rooney gets himself sent off in the 72nd minute when you're 2-1 up. Joey Keating scores 2 goals.
Yeah.
Not a fantastic start at all.
I think I've had a bad injury as well. Just one of my players in that game as well.
Pogba is out, for a couple of months, 2 to 3 months with a broken ankle. So
just as well did bring that midfield player in.
Yeah, you're gonna be losing your best midfielder for now. So let's have a look at your Champions League group. You've got Lyon, Porto, and Schalke. So I think you should go through to that.
Unfortunately, I probably will go through,
Yeah. But let's have a look to see what I'm doing at my new club of Lazio. Yes, I went straight for the job, got it immediately, and I brought in some big names. Oh, yes. They already had a fantastic team, to be fair, and I had a good transfer budget. So the first signing I made was Kylian Mbappe, and I've been keeping my tabs on him as soon as he came into the game. I noticed that he went to Chelsea last season for £42 million, and I was like, there's my chance ruined. They're going to use him. They didn't. 4 games, and he was unhappy. It cost me almost double what they paid for him. But has it been worth it? 3 goals in 2 games already.
Yeah, definitely.
And a player of the match. Chelsea are idiots. We all knew that. He is fantastic.
They're good at wasting money, aren't they?
Yeah. I'm already trying to get him to beat the offside trap, because that's exactly what Kylian Mbappe does. But at 19 years of age, he's already really promising, and I'm looking forward to bringing him into the team. Aymeric Laporte is a player that I once had at Sevilla. I think I bought him. He was my first signing at Sevilla. I've bought him again from Liverpool. It didn't cost me as much as what they paid. In fact, half of what they paid. And they played in 2 seasons in a row. So I don't know why he was so cheap. But he comes in as my starting centre-back. And he is injured for a little bit, 4 to 8 days. But it's not too bad. It's the 4th time I've had him. I think I've only had 6 jobs. But 4 of the jobs I've had, Jean Moutinho has been in it. So the only time I haven't had him is at Sevilla and Bayern Munich. But here he is again, and I've bought him 3 times. Werder Bremen, Valencia, and Lazio. He is the Nico Kranjčar to my Harry Redknapp.
Yeah.
So,
well, my Frank Kessie.
Yeah. So, who is also in the game?
Yeah, we did
and
look
it's
at
at Werder Bremen.
Yeah.
And the Werder Bremen job come up. Dad was tempted. Didn't go for it.
I was only tempted because Frank was ringing me up and saying, "Boss, come on."
Yeah. This is the second time this has come up now. So there we go. Jean Moutinho was signed for £18 million. Still only 31. I could go again. When I complete Italy, I'm going to go to the Premier League and I'm going to buy him again. And then Lucas Leiva is my final signing. I know, I'm buying Liverpool players. £50 million though. I needed a centre defence midfield as a good option. He gives me that good option. Now, I wish he was better at the position that I'm using as a ball winning. Apparently, he's only good as a segundo volante. I'd argue he's better than what people are making out, well, what my coaches are making out as that ball winning midfielder, but still. He comes in, is a lot of money, but there is not a lot of options, unfortunately, unless we had silly money. Now, I'm going for a 4-2-2 formation, very similar to what I played at Valencia, but catered towards the team that I've got. My only concern, really, actually isn't happening here, but when we were going game by game, my assistant kept on suggesting we put Goran Pandev in. Now, Goran Pandev is a legend of Macedonian football and the Serie A, and I was always a big fan of his. However, he is now 35, and his pace is not quite there. Although his technicals and mentals are there, I want to be playing Mbappe next to this man, Vittorio Villa, an Italian 25-year-old who is immense.
Yeah.
Off the ball of 20, great composure, great finishing ability. He is insane. World-class striker who got 19 goals in the last 2 years. So, that's the 2 strike force that I want. Leroy Sané is here. I almost bought him 2 years ago, and then he went to Lazio, I remember, for £45 million. I actually activated his release clause and then cancelled the offer to bring in a striker instead while I was at Valencia. I think it was a good move at the time, and I've been reunited with him instead. We've got the best right back in the world in Di Silvestri as well.
Unbelievable.
Yep, cracking player. That's the one position we've all been struggling with as well, isn't it? Jean Moutinho, of course, and Lucas Leiva goes in there. Douglas Costa is also in the team. Plays on the right-hand side in this as a new gen. With his right foot, which I think in real life he is right-footed, I'm not sure, but he's 27 here and still a really good player. But on my bench, I have the likes of Anthony Martial. I've also got Jack Grealish, Ruben Loftus-Cheek. There's a few players here that you might recognise. And even my captain, Christian Ledesma. He's at the end of his career, 35, but can still go for now. So I'm excited for this season. I don't think it's going to take me too long if you're going off the start of the season.
I've got a funny feeling I might be seeing you in the Premier League next season.
Because at the start of the schedule, I've only played 2 games, won them both 4-0, but one of them was against Inter Milan.
Yeah.
At Inter Milan.
Good start.
And I absolutely destroyed them. Now, my Champions League group does have your road side Benfica, Dad, but it also has Lens and Shakhtar. I'd like to think I can go through that. Could I make it 3 Champions Leagues in a row with 2 different teams? Who knows? There's only one way to find out. I'm in a new country, so I'm chasing down both the Coppa Italia and the Serie A. Dad is in the same country, still trying to chase down the FA Cup, the Premier League, and of course, the UEFA Cup. Let's find out what happens this season. Dad's Manchester United started the season in much better form than previous years, scoring way more goals than usual without conceding just as many. And he managed to put on a nearly 3-month run without a single loss from the first game of September to Arsenal on Boxing Day. But Arsenal, unfortunately for Dad, are untouchable at the top of the league right now and have only dropped 4 points all season, with Dad's side trailing 10 points behind already. I was also having a fun time in the league with my new strike force of Villa and Mbappe getting on very well, and both picking up a number of goals each. And some of the results, we felt like we were on another level. However, we went into the game against AC Milan tied on points, and 19-year-old Donnarumma in goal for AC Milan put on a man-of-the-match performance as Milan defeated us 2-0 at the San Siro, taking the current champions of Italy to 3 points ahead of us going into the new year after only losing 1 game so far this season. Dad did, however, pick up a domestic trophy. It just wasn't the one he's been chasing, as he wins the League Cup at Wembley, defeating Liverpool 3-2. Another game against AC Milan in the frosty snow of Milan, and this time in the quarter-final of the Coppa Italia. And the game goes to extra time after they find a late equaliser, but this time round it's us celebrating at the final whistle as we scored 2 goals in extra time through Anthony Martial to go through to the semi-finals against Juventus. And the first leg actually goes very well for us indeed. Dad's good start to the season in the league started to fall apart as he picked up some bad losses from February onwards, including a loss to Manchester City at Old Trafford. Although there were still some highs as they spanked Chelsea 9-1 at Old Trafford, but the points being dropped against West Ham, City and Sunderland started to take its toll on the title hopes. With 7 games remaining, they were 14 points behind Arsenal. And Dad also crashed out of the FA Cup in an epic encounter though at Fratton Park in the quarterfinals. But we both, however, still featured in the Champions League quarterfinal with Real Madrid and Manchester City on our way of a possible clash against each other. And although Dad overcame Manchester City on penalties after Sadio Mane's miss for City at Old Trafford, Lazio were destroyed against Harry Kane's Real Madrid, followed by elimination from the Coppa Italia 2 as we lost 4-0 to Juventus in the second leg. The amount of draws in the Serie A was also annoying in April too, although we then beat Juventus 5-0 in the game before they knocked us out of the Coppa Italia. But with AC Milan to soon play, we trailed them just by a point near the end of the season. And AC Milan's form dropped right at the perfect time for us as we sailed past them into the top spot with the fixture against each other next and the Milan derby after that, meaning we could lift the Serie A title against them if we win. The game did not start great despite us being the home team, as Ronaldo put AC Milan in front right on the stroke of half time, and we find ourselves now trailing by 2-0. The hope was never lost though, and we mounted a comeback through Douglas Costa to begin with, and even managed to score an equaliser on the 81st minute by the veteran Goran Pandev. However, one moment of concentration lapsed in injury time and we crumbled, as AC Milan took all 3 points, going on to defeat their Milan rivals 2-1 after falling behind 1-0 as Cristiano Ronaldo fired in a rocket of a winner to guarantee themselves as champions against their biggest foe. Dad, I was so close. I had it in my hands.
It definitely was in your hands, yeah.
To win the Serie A.
2 games left, you were top of the league.
Yeah, I mean, AC Milan defeated me. They went 2-0 up, pulled one back, but the 92nd minute winner. I ended up losing the last game of the season anyway.
Yeah.
Don't know whether I'll push for it, but I had a bad period from April onwards.
We say the last 2 games cost you the league, but they didn't, I don't think. April cost you the league.
Definitely. A couple of bad, 3 draws in there, which really I should be winning.
Yeah.
Also out of the Champions League. Beat Juve 5-0 in the only win of the month in the league, and then lose them 4-0 in the Coppa Italia semi-final, after already being 3-2 up in the first leg. So they also knocked me out of the Coppa Italia. No trophies for Luke this season. Very annoying because I was so close. I was top of the league a couple of times throughout the year. Just wasn't to be, unfortunately. I had 2 of the top goal scorers, including Kylian Mbappe. And Pandev actually had the highest average rating and the most assists. He had a great time. Which worries me where my other striker was, because he seemed to have not scored as many. I don't know what he was up to, but he didn't seem to play as many games. Well, he did play as many. He just didn't score as many games, many goals as the other 2 guys did. Goran Pandev had a wonderful time, possibly playing from that right-hand side. So, okay. Difficult time for me this season. It was unfortunate. Close but no cigar. Dad, how was it for you? Well, 3rd place finish, which I feel like is all you've been able to get at the minute.
Yeah, I mean, I was up around the top the whole season, but I was losing silly games. What did I lose? 8 games in the end?
Yeah.
When Arsenal only lose 4 and draw 4. I just couldn't get near Arsenal. Every time I got a little bit closer and I got 2nd place, I'd go and lose 2 silly games.
Yeah. I mean, you lost against both Man City and Arsenal at home.
Yeah. So there's games that you can't afford to lose.
No. Some bad results too. Middlesbrough, Bolton, West Ham even, because they're not. Oh, they are 4th, to be fair.
Couldn't beat Everton
away.
Again. The first game that I lost, the Preston game. I mean, these games like you should be losing.
Yeah,
really.
I mean,
Preston bottom of the league.
Yeah,
and
Sunderland as well relegated. You lost to them 3-2. Both times.
That's the games you can't afford to lose.
Absolutely. Profile of the league, though, you had Forestieri with one of the top scorers of the league, which is a bit surprising.
I'm a bit disappointed about that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, there's not a lot going on for you there, really, which is a shame. But the FA Cup was the other competition you wanted to go for. You were knocked out in the quarter-final.
Won the wrong cup.
Yeah.
Finally won a cup, but the wrong one.
You won the English League Cup instead.
Lost to Portsmouth. So.
Which you beat Liverpool in the final.
Yeah, I did, yeah. I was pleased with that.
Might have been the only thing that keeps your job at the minute.
I didn't do too bad in the Champions League, to be honest with you. I got to the semi-final.
Because they also knocked me out, Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Went on to face Sporting in the final.
Yeah.
Which is still yet to happen.
I mean, what I will say is I did beat AC Milan in the Champions League.
Yes. Great. Well done. Yeah, you don't get anything in the retro glory on the cabinet for that.
When I come up against them, I thought it was a big surprise that I got AC Milan and I beat them. So.
Yeah. But look who I knocked out. My old side, Valencia. Oh, funny.
It all comes round and round again.
Of course, yeah. Lost them 3-2 in the first leg, beat them 3-0 in the second leg. Quarterfinals when I lost to Real Madrid. You knocked out Manchester City on penalties.
Yeah.
So an all-Manchester quarterfinal there, which meant that you were the final English team in the Champions League. So,
well, it's always the same when you come against Real Madrid, isn't it?
Yeah.
you either beat Real Madrid in the final or you're just going to lose them because they'll get to the final.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's have a look then at the other competitions across European football. Real Madrid went on and won the league. Valencia finished in 3rd. They were only 4 points behind, though. It's a very tight title race.
Did say that Real Madrid would probably bounce back from that, didn't they?
Yeah.
Because you give them the right tonk in there, really, didn't you?
Yeah,
really?
absolutely.
Yeah.
In League A, it was Lyon again, so they pretty much won every single year. And the Bundesliga, Bayern Munich lost this season. Werder Bremen, the job came up. You turned it down.
I don't believe that.
And they went on and won.
Didn't look like they had a good enough side for it.
They comfortably won as well, Dad. 72 points to 66.
Gutted. Absolutely gutted now. I wish you
Louis Van Gaal.
I wish
He's been haunting you.
Yes, yeah.
Louis Van Gaal. He's constantly haunting you. He's obviously
Well,
left Chelsea. Yeah. I haven't really done anything since we haven't crossed paths. It's just he keeps popping up.
Yeah.
He's 67 now. It might be time for him to go eventually. But at the minute, he is giving you a hammering.
Oh, dear.
The team's all right. Milazzo's a good striker. There's a few good players in there.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like, you'd look at that and go, they're easy to win the Bundesliga.
No.
But,
when Bayern Munich come 3rd.
Yeah.
That's real bad for them.
Yeah.
I could do with them sacking their manager
7
now.
points behind. Well, we haven't looked at it yet.
No.
Could it be a possibility? Let's have a look. Benfica at the minute, with Jose Mourinho as the leading candidate, as he left Roma last year. But the job security, I mean, there isn't anyone there yet.
No.
So, possibly, it might cause a bit of a manager merry-go-round.
Yeah.
We've only just got to the end of the season. Sometimes the board take a little bit longer to decide.
Yeah.
But Omar Hitzfeld at the minute is classed as stable despite finishing in 3rd place. Maybe it's because they've gone on and won the DFB Pokal. They did.
Yeah.
So that's what goes against you, unfortunately.
Yeah,
the
definitely,
DFB Pokal win.
I could do with him leaving them rather than being sacked.
Yeah,
really.
Yeah. Because, if they had lost that, then you're looking at it going, Bayern's probably going to sack our manager today. Yeah. But there we go. So far, nothing has come up.
Only good thing is I finally won a cup. It's the wrong cup. Yeah. I finally won a cup.
Yeah. You can't add that one to your Retro Glory Hunter cabinet, unfortunately. Dad, your goals this season, Alan Kardec got 34 for you, which I am quite surprised with. Wayne Rooney got 23.
Yeah. How old's he now? 33.
A lot of players got 20. Forestieri, Diego, and Rashford. Rashford looks amazing now.
Going forward, I was really good.
Yeah.
Did I stuff Chelsea 9-1 at one stage?
Yeah, he did, throughout the season.
So, 9-1 Chelsea there. So I was scoring a lot of goals, but the important games I was just losing.
Yeah.
Some silly games.
There we go. Okay, your transfer budget next season, Dad, 57 million. So you've got enough.
Yeah.
And, of course, we came back in January. We had a look in January, and we actually signed a couple of players for the end of the season. Neither of us had budgets, but we had enough to offer players at the end of the season.
I know I'm losing Gordon.
Yeah, he's retiring.
Keeper, so I need a reserve keeper.
So you've got
on a freebie. I might just get him in. It's silly money in it, really.
Defoe's good.
Yeah,
and so is Maritimo actually.
He covers the 3 positions that I do play at the moment. So that's a good signing, I think, for a freebie.
Yeah. And I also did the same. I got 2 midfielders coming in. Andrea Lucci, who is at Real Madrid, but a really good centre midfielder. 34 now, but so is John Obi Mikel. He's also joining. 32 years of age, so I can afford to get. I had a couple of midfielders who weren't really getting a lot of game time, and I can afford to lose them now.
Your budget was only 56, but did you see your wage side of it?
Yeah, it's a lot in the wages, which I can possibly bump up. But of course, I got 2 of those coming in. I think one of them is like 300.
Yeah, it was,
so he'll be coming in quite expensive. So I might have a bit of a clear out because there are a few players in here who didn't get many games at all, and a few down here who I might have to just think, it's time for you guys to go, really. So yeah. I mean, I don't really plan on leaving because I think I'm on the cusp of something now. I think I need a few little tweaks, and then I might be all right. But I still think you're some way off here, Dad. You're some way off there.
I mean, you look at. I think it was Everton who won the league last year.
No, it was Arsenal who won the league the year before. Yeah, Chelsea. Louis van Gaal, that was.
Oh yeah, I was close to them. That's only 6 points, 5 points away from them, but Arsenal just walked the league this year, didn't they? So, I don't know.
Big summer ahead for Dad. There's no trophies to add to the Retro Glory Hunter cabinet, but let's remind ourselves what we've got left to get. I think overall it was a good first season for me in Italy, even though I never got to add a trophy to my Glory Hunter cabinet. But that's fine because right now Dad is seriously trailing behind and he needs to step up if he is to beat me at completing his Retro Glory Hunter cabinet first. However, maybe a move away from the Premier League is on the horizon, as the Bayern Munich manager has just left his role.